Prodigy guys.
Well, it looks like they're wanting to try and go a little bit more aggressive this time around. Leading into it, but got to be careful. Gibson's going to go for the peek around, goes for the pistol shot. It's not going to pay off. Liz is back behind those. It does get an exchange, but you can see trying to trade this one out. Going to go ahead and retreat back over there next to Canoe.
Yeah, Link finding 2 entries over towards B there, and Spike actually rotating along catwalk. Chihuahua is actually going to try and take a little spot behind the plant pot in tree. He's going to find the first one. He's going to find the second as well. Fantastic shots there. Soulcast finally with the trade, but there you go. Already getting flanked from behind, and Luzza now, he's in garden, and it's going to come down to a 1v1. Scream pushing his way through, but he needs to try and recover this spike. It's all the way over in front of Luzza here in tree, and you can see he's just going to try and play time on this and look for an entry.
It's the right way to play it right now, and just play it a little bit more patiently inside the 1v1. This might be a turning point for Prodigy if they can manage to pick up this round, give them a little bit more breathing room, because we saw it was the early game that really impacted them super hard the last time we were looking at them play. So now you can see Luzza making the slow approach off to the side for Prodigy, trying to find the angle back over towards fish123. Seeing maybe can go a little bit sneaky back behind this one, but I get the idea that Fish has a read up. This might be coming back around this other angle. Backs on it, goes for the spray onto it, gets a little bit of damage. Luzza has to be careful on this one, though. Doesn't want to play it too quick. Gonna go for the run back over towards him, try to spot him out. Does get flashed. Hasn't quite spotted it out. Yes, just going for the outside play around this. Does get a little bit of the smoke down to work with. Makes a play, goes for the spike plant. Fish123 at least gonna be able to pick that one up. But now gonna have to be careful as it's a quick approach back behind it. Luzza just keeps narrowly missing him and finally spots him out.
Just wrapping each other around the generator there. Really, really good patience from Luzza. Again, not playing off the audio cue of the spike going down. Just waiting for a freebie there as Scream came to pick her around. So pistol round will go over to Prodigy. And that was, I mean, that was the same last time, right? It was they only picked up the first 2. So
it's a turning point, hypoc. We're going to be positive. It's a turning point, right? This they're going to come in. They've got a full plan. It's not going to be the same as last time. We hope.
Hopefully.
All right, so looks like Luz is going to be the guy we're going to keep an eye on for just a second. No surprise after clutching up that last round. On the other side of it, you can see that everybody's still sticking with the pistols. Looks like fish123 is going to use that utility to try to go ahead and get them the wins off of it. Cryptix has had himself a good performance over here on the Cypher, trying to find himself some type of angle to work with right now, but Eccles going to be the guy that's running the front point on this, looking back over towards 2, and got to be very careful on this approach.
They're going to try and hold down Mark here. Two members have made it inside front mid, and actually Law's going to peek out and find one with the Bulldog. And here you go. Paranoia comes through, and actually Luzza's done well to find that one. He's going to peek out, get a second with the Spectre. That's going to stop that push through market immediately. In the 2v4 situation now. Fish123.
Luzza finally does get taken down off that one. Still managed to inflict a lot of damage back over on the other side, but it's starting to turn pretty bad over on the side. So now gotta be careful. You can see down to just one. It's gonna be Cryptix trying to make a play based off of, but he goes down, and here comes the quick defuse back over towards the spike, and that's gonna be another round going back over towards Prodigy.
Yeah, unfortunately there, kind of got caught with his pants down as the wall went down covering the defensive spawn, but Spike goes down nonetheless, so a little bit extra pocket money for the guys of fish123, but first 2 rounds on the board, as you said, for Prodigy. And obviously 3 Bulldogs going to stay on the board, so full bite going out for fish123 as expected. We'll have to see how this one plays out.
Bringing in the Bulldogs, love to see it coming through. On the other side of it, you can see trying to go with a different style of approach moving into here, as Prodigy do have themselves 2 rounds already inside of this. See if it gives them the momentum to work with. Cryptix trying to get the spray back over. Does manage to connect with 1. Has to be careful. There's going to be another follow-up. Jerome's going to be holding the line back over for his teammates, but doesn't have any vision to work with, so trying to step away back behind this one. Goes for a peek around the other side. Managed to pick up 1, but is quickly exchanged back out.
Yeah, but Pips is here with a Vandal. I don't think they're going to exit second and third. He's going to find 2 headshots. Scream and Soulcast will fall. Actually, he's going to find Cryptix as well, so that's 3 for Pips, and done absolutely huge work over in A lobby there. Eccles now in a 1v2 situation. He's going to back up towards top mid. He does still have the spike, so he does find an entry somewhere. Can still make a play for this. Dark cover going to go down over towards Cubby. He's actually going to rotate back towards A main.
Go for a touch of bait off this Laws, trying to make sure that he gets a little bit more seeing if maybe he can spot out different approach angles. Eccles slowly making his way back around over on this. So be very careful. He's going to have himself a little bit of an opening to work with, as the peak angle coming out from the defense is not going to be looking back his direction. He doesn't want to get too aggressive just quite yet, but the moment he tries to go for that spike plant is going to be the moment the push is going to come through. Nice pickup. That's going to give him a little bit of space to work with. Eccles quickly going for the spike plant onto it while rotation's going to come in. He's going to be able to set up, go for a touch of defense based off of this. Going to throw out a little bit more utility, step back below or around the hell corner, and now it's just a matter of waiting, listening for those footsteps or the potential defuse.
Yeah, dark cover going over heaven. Could throw down a little bit of a bait, but see now, Ali is going to be cleared first, so still plenty of time here on this retake. Can definitely isolate some of these angles. Going to close down the door. The audio cue going to go over now because he's stomping. He's not walking in. There you go. Actually, he's going to find him in hell. So he will pick up the defuse there. Really, really patient there from Chihuahua. Again, good retake.
Nice plays coming out from Prodigy. Maybe the tables have finally turned back over in their favor. Starting to get a lot of control in this one, as you can see. Quick pickups on a lot of these angles, but fish123 we know can be a very dominant force to be reckoned with moving into these later rounds. And the question comes into play, how good are they at playing their economy game? Because that's something we didn't have a chance to see a lot inside that last round with the domination that they managed to bring.
Absolutely, but I mean, already just in the first 3 rounds here, seen a completely different approach from Prodigy. That kind of, not really a triple stack over towards A main, but they kind of all peaked one by one. But even there on where they're holding weapons from the previous round, that's a perfectly bounced shock dart. Yeah, to clear that off, Jerome going to eat that one. But already seeing a bit more, aggressive peeking outside, trying to shut down the attack. And honestly, that's what they need to do. Even if they're just kind of picking up first bloods every so often and then playing the man advantage, it's already a completely difference to how they approach the Haven.
Other side of this, you can see fish123 trying to find the angle, but just can't quite step through. That's going to be Scream taken down quite early onto this. Side of it being very patient. You can see the aggression coming out from one side of it. Pipson's trying to hold the line for his team right now, but quick repositions coming around from the rest of everybody back over towards Prodigy. Curtis does have the opening to work with, trying to go for the plant of the spike.
Now, seeing a 4v5 retake here. See if we can do this. Screen's actually trying to set up for an angle towards heaven, but not sure he's going to find it, isn't he? You can see actually going to find one headshot immediately. He can just fall back now, puts it into a 4v4. Rolling Thunder going to be invested towards tree. Now, actually, the peak comes out, and look at this. The kill feed lighting up for fish123, and Jerome just going to opt to save this operator. You can already see they're on the hunt already on the X-ray. Falling back towards mid. They're going to try and cut this rotation off. They're going to find it, so weapon going to be removed off the board as well. Really, really nice round. The first round on the board for them.
Might be the turning point. Fish123 starting to get a little bit more control inside of this one. Looks like we're going for a pretty solid lineup on defense right now. A lot of aggression making its way back over towards the... A little bit of a push off towards the side here. Now, really it comes down to is we're starting to see the money and the economy start to equalize just a touch more. Is that going to allow fish123 to start opening up the doors like we saw inside that last round? Or does Prodigy have enough to go for a full-on defense on this one?
See, no real early aggression here. Cage is out in mid, but there is a push coming through B lobby, so Cryptics and Scream got to be aware of this. Actually, timing nearly lining up, but the spy cam going to give all the information over, and that's going to pull the defenders back. So, really good stuff there from Cryptics to, I guess, get rid of that threat from behind.
Coming in, trying to use the jet ultimate. Doesn't even get much out of it. Quickly taken down. Eccles coming up, looking for a play off the side of this one. Meanwhile, we can see Chihuahua has got the cage. Now goes for a spray, gets a little bit of damage, but gets returned, taken down. Now Jerome's starting to make a play back side of his Omen, trying to get a little bit more information for his team is firmly regrouping. Like they're trying to figure out how that they're wanting to approach this next push.
Yeah, Scream actually might find himself some more juicy eco kills. He's going to find the first. No counter peek coming out there. He's going to find the second with a wall bang. And there you go, the third. So clean. So clean. He loves those eco frags.
And it just makes it look easy. It's just a tap into a tap into a tap as they just tried to go back around. Knew exactly where he was, but it did not matter. Scream stepping up whenever it matters for his team the most.
And again, now hopefully going to get some momentum building. Obviously replying back with a couple of rounds. Obviously now Prodigy can buy back into this. Now we're going to have an operator invested as well, so hopefully going to try and play off a pick in mid around that. And Hunter's Fury actually invested straight away from Law here. Going to try and find something. I don't think any tag has come through just yet, but see, Pipson and Jerome did go for an aggressive A peak, and the dark cover going to go down there. Eccles slowly making his way through. One player did fall early.
Screen back over next to Well right now. Looks like they're trying to figure out their approach and how they want to make their move through this one. On the other side, you can see very slow approach coming out from Sage. Pipson as well. Starting trying to get a little bit more information based off the repositionings and ability uses right now. Trying to find the right angle for it. But looks like we're going to start to see it get a little bit more aggressive as everybody's starting to move in the line of sight. Link has to be very cautious, playing back around, hiding himself into a good point. Going to spot out one very quickly. Connects with a couple of shots, but not going to be enough to get taken down. Now I can see Scream. Go ahead and check in corner. Is going to start making his approach as Eccles on the other side of it.
Now trying to collapse over towards A, and actually he's going to try and teleport here, just maybe for information. He does. He gets some information on that elbow over towards defensive spawn. Doesn't bait the rotate out just yet, and actually operator pick going to find Eccles. So Scream now in a position where he's going to push in, and at this point, just do some damage if he can, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to find a lot of damage, picking up 2, but time running out here. Finds himself in a 1v2, and I think it's just best for him to save, which is what he's going to opt to do.
Yeah, buying himself a little bit more space there and going for the reposition back over next to Heaven. Thinking maybe he can get that, and yep, he's going to be able to pick up space, be able to keep the weapon, and just don't continue walking forward to lose it now. It sucks so badly. Oh, nice play coming out on the other side of that one, though. Prodigy still trying to find a point to inflict what damage they can.
Now, unfortunate, but again, grand scheme of things. Let's see. Well, actually, no, a Spectre on the board for Eccles, but again, got to understand he's under a bit more economic strain due to the operator usually, but see what they can make out of this one.
Camera taken.
I can see Chihuahua and Pipson both holding down defensive angles very tight to the approach corner. You can see coming through here. Throwing out just a little bit more breach utility. Maybe draw a little bit of attention back onto an angle. Looks like Cryptics and crew starting to make a little bit more of a peek around. Pipson can hear what's going on next to him. Trying to play this one pretty patiently. He's got the breach that he can try to go for a touch of a play on, but he can hear the step through, and it looks like so trying to get a little bit more information coming out on that one as well. So I'm going to have to step him back on this one. Tries to go for a little bit of defense back over towards the top of Heaven, but not going to come out. Trying to creep their way inside this one, but it's just a ton of people holding this one down.
You see now, going to try and slow down a little bit for the retake here. 4 up on the side of 2-1-2-3, and actually Red's going to get invested as well, so 3v5 retake for Prodigy here. No real entry in here, so probably going to opt to save these weapons, and yep, you can see him pull all the way back here. There is a top mid lurk, which could find one of the exit frags if they choose to go that way. And you see, yeah, he's actually going to find one there. Got a spy cam as well, just to back him up. So these guys pull back just to try and keep these weapons on the board.
Yeah, getting a little bit more breathing room. Hopefully it goes better than last time we saw everybody trying to go with a little bit of a defense for their weapons here. So they should be able to find the space to work with. And are we going to get another last minute pickup? Doesn't look like it's going to happen this time around. The push back over into this one. Looks like you can see a quick lineup coming out from the sides as they're making an approach back over towards the side. Looks like getting a little bit more feisty back over towards that B direction.
This one goes here.
5 things coming to a close. Pretty decent economy and utility on both sides of it. Goes for a snap right. Good pickup right as soon as coming around the angle, but has to be very cautious onto this one. Got the cage down, going for a peek through the side of it. Not going to see a lot to work with just quite yet. Gets a connection onto it, but has to step away.
And now 2hour trying to play around his cage here, but Recon Hour giving everything away, and there you go, he'll lose his life for that peek. He gets shut down outside B. Look in there, and actually Eccles with a backstab. Gonna close the door over. Now Soulcast gonna rotate through the attacker spawn. Pipson is now at a 1v3. He's all the way over in the back of B's site. And again, expecting the save on this one. No real reason to risk going for this. I mean, depending how he's feeling, I guess. Depending on how the money's looking.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like we're starting to move into an economy more than anything else, as everybody is just trying to conserve to make their way into the next rounds. Given how the fact that what we saw inside the last game and how much of it was a blowout, it's about just trying to figure out trying to make sure you don't end up back in that situation. And so trying to make sure that they get tools and utility to work with in every single round and conserve everything that they can.
Now,
back and forth a lot closer than we saw last game.
I was going to say, Pipson actually finding himself an operator through B lobby, so maybe the worst thing ever. There's a player lurking over towards him, but because has gone down towards site, so I don't think they're going to cross paths here. But yeah, as you said, 4v3 initially. fish123 definitely not running away with it the way they did on the previous map.
Moving up and close, but you can see that the economy is starting to make its way back over on towards the side of fish123. So with that means the fact that we're going to start seeing a lot more frag potential coming out of this team who's been playing a touch more cautious. But whenever they're making their approaches, they're managing to find these very quick picks and then coming in with a much faster rate than we saw coming out on the other side. Whenever we were watching Prodigy's attacks, they were much more calculated. fish123 seems to go for a pick, knows the fact that that's their opportunity, and instantly tries to capitalize off of it, where it's a much more measured and methodical approach coming out from Prodigy.
Now going to get stacked over towards A lobby, and actually nobody opting to go through. Recon Bolt going to give all this information away, and actually Aftershock goes onto site. Jerome will find one before falling, but now you can see a double stack over towards Heaven. Aftershock going to get put onto Generator as soon as this plant comes down, or actually just before. And going to do a little bit of damage, but not find a kill. And Eccles has found himself a little spot on top. But Chihuahua's actually going to find him on top of the Generator here. Rolling Thunder invested up towards Heaven. Scream definitely going to find this one. It took a while, but eventually going to shut him down. Cryptix will put Spike down and actually have a player over towards Ali. So really great after plant set up already.
Coming in, we've got the breach up on top, trying to find what's going on. The outside of it, Link, you can see the tip of a gun. Doesn't connect with the shot, but got a friend that's going to help him out to work with this. Pipson's going to go for the drop down. Should have some idea somebody's down into hell. Now has to just be careful. Back around the outside is going to start going. Maybe try to go for a little bit of a diffuse. Draw the attention back over towards it. Not taking the bait just yet. As on the other side of this is going to be a Sage going for a little bit of a sneaky play. Spots it out, and look at the bait shots coming in, but sooner or later has to be careful. Quick step around. Big play coming out from Link.
Link throwing the little jump peek.
Doing a dose.
No, I love that. Absolutely love that. Really well played from Link there. Again, not taking the bait on the initial defuse. Just counting down to peek at the very last second. Really, really solid post-plant work from him. And that's going to be fish123 going one round ahead here. 5-4. And looking like we're going to have Prodigy on a bit of a broken buy, you could say. Pipson's going to top on the Vandal, but he's probably going to be able to buy next round as well. See, Bladestorm does get popped, but actually Lutz are taking a lot of damage already and not really trading that off. So no value initially, but again, I like the aggression. It's a complete step change from what we saw in map 1.
Ooh, nice shot coming out from Chihuahua there. Knows the second one there. Saw it just a second ago. Doesn't connect with the headshot just this time, but has a good idea on positioning. Going to go ahead and retreat back over next to Shed. Get a little bit more space off of this one. See if maybe he can pick up something off of the push. Liz is sitting on 6 life right now. Only got the 1 dagger to work with. Gonna make that one work. Refreshes them all and now steps back around. Taps it out yet again. That's what we want to see. Whenever we see a Jet get active with that ultimate. Got to be careful based off of positioning though. aware of the fact they're going to have to make a push back around, but quick response starting to come out from the other side of this. As you can see, fish123 starting to make their push back over towards A.
Now, Cool's getting in towards. Actually, the Oates going to find Lazar as he tried to push into the dark cover there. There is a Jerome lurking in hell. Actually, looking like he's going to clear it. He didn't clear it. Soulcast actually turned his back towards it. Jerome going to find him with the Sheriff. Actually, shrouded step across to the other side. Flashpoint going to go in. That's going to blind Eccles for a little bit here. Actually, he's going to put down a double dark cover. The aftershock going to come in, but it's not going to clear behind Generator all the way. And he's got to worry about Tree. And Chihuahua will find it coming in there. Nice retake from Prodigy. And they just look a lot more poised this time around. It was, I mean, dare I say they look lost on Haven, but definitely way more coordinated this time around.
Exactly. That's what I was going to go with, was coordinated. Whenever we saw them start to use the abilities there to really force Eccles to step back out into a teammate's line of fire. That was beautiful play and coordination coming through. And Chihuahua just keeps tapping heads with this one. I love it. I love to see that one set up. Leza coming up, getting a little bit of play. But I'm surprised nobody saw Jerome down in that held position. That one threw me for a second.
Yeah, it looked like Soulcast was gonna clear it, and then he turned his back to it. I don't know if that was based on, obviously we can't fully hear whether or not they got an audio cue of something else maybe, but just diverted his attention temporarily and didn't clear that out. So unfortunate way to go down there, but good retake nonetheless.
Off to the side of this, looks like Breach is doing a little bit of a distraction back over towards B. Well, it looks like a little bit more of a heavy push going back towards A. And, well, I wouldn't say that. Looks like they're going to reposition back over towards B now, making their way back through spawn. Looks like Fish thinks that they have a better opportunity based on this angle. Breach setting up, Sage back behind it, going to have the spike to work with. Liz is going to have the aim, trying to connect with the shot onto this one, going to have to step back off of it. Let's see if maybe they can buy a little bit more space, as now information should get fed on how many members they just saw, but it's going to be a reposition, making their way back over into that midpoint, coming out from fish123 right now, doing a little bit of a juke off of it. A lot of the defense has moved away from A, so that might be an open opportunity if they decide to go for it, but it looks like fish123 is still contemplating making the play back over next to B.
See, Lord, just looking for some information here, but there's a triple stack over towards B, which is, I guess, technically the right decision right now. As again, Link just looked as if he was going towards Pizza there, but all three members now are going to stack up towards Tree. So this is actually really unfortunate for Prodigy here. Paranoia going to get sent in, but as we can see, nobody over here, and they're going to get a site for free. They've overly invested here. Fish123 are thinking, what the hell is going on right now?
You see him checking every single corner like, surely here? Here? Nope, no one's here. So nice bait coming out. And now we're going to have to see how Prodigy manages to respond to this one. We talk about the fact that they tend to attack with a very slow and methodical approach. Well, now they're having to retake that position. And you can see not a lot of quickness coming in. And I think that, are they just going to opt into a save? You can see that they're back around next to spawn location for themselves. Not making too much of a play or aggressive push off of this. Maybe just seeing if they can get a pick. But I think that that's all they're going to be after.
Again, just obviously knowing the way the last few rounds have gone, probably going to keep some credits on the board for the final round. It's never nice playing the final round of the half without a full loadout. So I can understand it. 4 will stay alive, but again, they're saving their weapons anyway. Laura's actually might find one late in mid here, but he's actually going to lose his life. Scream will find that one through the wall. And again, not knowing exactly how it lines up here, we'll have to take a look at the scoreboard, but they should be fine. Yeah, they're absolutely fine. As I say, as long as it wasn't sat there on 0 after the buy in the previous round, but I guess it was just to keep things level for the final round.
Good to see Scream getting a little bit of vengeance after he was trying to save that last time, making a little bit of a push, wash right up into Prodigy. And if you're going to bump into anybody on fish123 right now, Scream is definitely not the guy you want to encounter, especially whenever you're trying to save for a weapon. Push coming back over towards B, looks like, coming up from fish123 right now. Defense for right now kind of lying back, playing closer towards mid and based off of position. Echo's going to go ahead and play around that breach point, but Jerome finds 2, quick pickup, and that's going to be a stall on everything towards A. And maybe that means that the push back over towards B might have enough space to work with, but got to be careful. There's going to be a Cypher right around the corner, just waiting to see this step out, as well as Liza sitting on his jet.
But again, we didn't see any of that on Haven. At all. That's you're going to be a double peek out here. Luz is going to find Link with the operator. Last two are going to come through. Luzza finds the second. There you go. That will be 3 on the round for Luzza. A really good half. All tied up now in the first half. But as I was just saying, that right there with the push through from Jerome. Again, the aftershock goes in. The flashpoint comes out. They know that they're going to flush the cubby out just next to the orb. And then the peak comes around from Jerome. And it's absolutely perfect. We didn't see anything like that in terms of team synergy and utility usage in the previous map. And I mean, it's good to see Prodigy really switch it up.
Yeah, you can feel this is a totally different game than what we were seeing beforehand. The last one was an absolute blowout. This time around, Prodigy figured out their approach and how they're wanting to work around this. A lot of it coming off of good plays coming out from Luzza and Chihuahua, especially in the early part of every single round. Feels like they're very active up for their team, trying to find somebody and managing to get pick after pick. And that seems to be the recipe for success for Prodigy.
See, pistol round here. Big round for Prodigy. Eccles has already found himself all the way into back alley. Looks like we might have a stack up towards A side. Bit of a lot of mid presence here. Door's going to get closed here. It's going to cut off some sight lines towards market, and that might force them back towards mid, but I have to wait and see right now. Obviously, slow approach here to the pistol round. Actually, let's try and find his way in through tree here with the flashpoint. Cloudburst going to cover off some of the tree angles, but there you go. Cryptics will pick up 2 headshots behind it. Eccles will find one. Finally gets straight out. And there you go. Actually, it's going to go in favor. Prodigy here. They're going to get themselves onto site. Actually, another trade coming back. Scream finds the headshot on that one, but now it just comes down to a 1v2. And Law.
Creeping up back behind him, though.
Yeah, he does still have the spike as well. So if he can backfill them here, he might be able to get himself all the way through defensive spawn over towards the B side, but it looks like he's going to try and pressure Heaven here. I actually like this from Law. They're going to have absolutely no idea that he's wrapped him.
Confidence coming into play. Going to go ahead and lean back around. Quick double pick up. Nice play coming out from that one. Law's going to feel good about it.
Yeah, really, really well played there. Again, timed that absolutely perfectly. Coming all the way back around them. And again, they're absolutely tunneled on site, so 2 free headshots from behind with the Ghost. Love to see it.
All right, well, we're starting to see a little bit more competition coming into these rounds. Prodigy was we had a lot of Prodigy fans moving into this set of games today, so I know the fact that they're finally happy to see some life coming out from their team. Question is, can they continue this one up as Prodigy is slowly and steadily getting more aggressive and feeling more comfortable in their play? You can see going for a lot more of just play capabilities coming out. I say that as Link does get spotted out, quick drop onto him. Screen playing pretty far back off of this, but not a lot of people playing based on his location. It'd be interesting to see how we see the approach coming out moving into this round.
That's it. A little bit of an investment on the side of fish123. Saw Green with a Marshall all the way back in defensive spawn, but rotation is going to come out over towards the A side here. Obviously, spike in hand. So you can see actually, again, fish123 have read into it perfectly. They've already sent 2 people over towards Heaven here. Laz is going to try and find an entry with Spectre down towards A main. And Scream already in Heaven with that Marshall. So, yeah, and going to be able to do some damage on the way in here. Can't quite hit the Owl Drone, though, and that's an issue. Yeah, Flash comes through. Cryptic's on site with the Spectre, so he's going to take close contact here. Actually, 2 kills going over with the Judge. That's a fantastic start for him. Cryptic's going to find another 2 as well, and there you go. They will absolutely destroy them there with the hold. That's actually a massive lockout for them.
All right, well, we said that we wanted to see more aggression coming out from Prodigy, but not that type of aggression. That was just a quick line into perfect line of sights coming up. And that was just quick capitalization coming out. There was no real quick response that could come back from Prodigy based off of that one. So as we're moving in second half of the series, looks like we're starting to see fish123 coming back into what we saw inside that first set of game.
Yeah, I mean, perfect response there. fish123, and again, actually losing out on first blood. You see now, actually, Link is going to catch sight lines of Luzza jumping over there. And actually, here you go. The recon arrow is perfect there. Couldn't get him through the wall. He's actually going to get shut down here eventually, but the trade is good. Link still down there, putting in work, and again, this side could actually get locked down here.
Oh, good connection onto that one. Trying to hold the points onto this, but a little bit of a peek coming off to the side of it as we still do have an Omen and a Cypher to work with. Law still just trying to hold down position right now, seeing if he can find the angle that they're going to approach on. Seems like he knows exactly where they're at, trying to throw down a little bit of utility to Rast, just a touch more.
Yeah, Hunter's Fury going to get invested over towards spawn side here. Doing a lot of damage initially, but no follow-up blow there. And Law
I have the spike.
now finds himself in a 1v2 situation.
Does get the spike, though.
Yeah, I mean, he can definitely make a play off this. You saw him make plays in the pistol round. And now he's actually going to do exactly the same thing again. He's wrapping through the defensive spawn here. Might take a little peek into the back of market. This is actually big brain stuff here from Law.
Walks right up back behind him. Patience pays off.
Oh,
1, 2,
Law.
quick double pickup. Law clutches it up whenever it matters for his team. Good play coming out from him yet again.
That is absolutely. I mean, just put Law in a 1v2 situation. That's how Prodigy are going to keep putting rounds on the board. That's again just absolutely heads up game sense there. Again, timing it absolutely perfectly to come and wrap around the back of market. Really, really good stuff.
All right, let's take a look and see how we're seeing everything set up. It looks like we got Liza and the rest of the crew making play back over towards potentially B as they're starting to cluster around that point. Maybe go for a little bit of bait and utility, switch back over towards mid. Defensive lines being a little bit more aggressive on this one, as we still do have the Cypher that's playing back towards the back on it, but look how far forward right now where Scream's going to be playing at. Looks like he was trying to see if maybe he can get a little cheeky peek off the start of this one, but a quick reposition making their way back over towards B is going to be looking how Prodigy is going to be choosing to assault this.
See now, fault line actually sent through. Scream set up with the Sheriff here. Again, a heavy stack over towards A, as you said. We've got to lurk over outside B main, but Cryptic's going to be playing that position again behind the crates. Rolling Thunder going to get invested here, but Flashpoint is good. Paranoia sent through as well, and that's going to stop the push through initially. Shock Dart goes on to Cryptics. That's going to do a lot of damage. And then look at this. All the utility getting thrown in. Eccles will find the first. Cryptic's going to peek out and find one as well. This is a fantastic hold so far from fish123, and you can see it's forced the last remaining player there all the way back in. The lurk is too late. Jerome will get shut down. And there you go. The push absolutely stopped out again, held from A side by fish123.
Quick response coming out from their team. The moment that you can see Scream playing that little bit more of aggressive angle, pretty close towards the wall, spots out what's going on, feeds the information over, and the whole team quickly collapses back to provide all kinds of reinforcements. Leaves Pipson running off for the hills, the last team member up, and just trying to keep his weapons, keep a little bit of his money back inside of his pocket right now. And it looks like we're not seeing a lot of people stretch out just quite yet. I say that. Looks like they're starting to get a move back over towards that long point, just a touch, but I don't think that they're going to approach back over towards Pips and how they're wanting to push this one. So fish123 starting to get a little bit more control slowly and steadily in how they're wanting to play this. And I think it just still comes back down to speed and how Fish plays. They just move. Everything is just based off of confidence and a sheer just instinct to follow command. Somebody says, do this, and they instantly spin and make the play off of it.
I mean, the counter usage of utility there, absolutely perfect. And, you know, Eccles being in the right position to kind of negate all the utility invested on the site itself. And you can see Cryptics, you know, he's had an absolute nightmare trying to stay alive behind the crates there. Rolling Thunder invested, the Shock Dart set over towards him, the Recon Bolt, everything to try and flush him out from that position. But Eccles, one Paranoia, and then I think a Flashpoint through to the main archway. Just absolutely shut that push down. Just really, really good use of utility overall.
That seems to be a key defining factor in how we're seeing the approach into this one. Nice couple of taps coming in, take down one very quickly. Scream's looking to the side of this one, and this is turning very, very quickly in the favor. Back over fish123. It's just a nice play coming back off of that one. It was easy peasy to pick up those kills, and now Prodigy's headed back in and going to have to figure out, okay, that one didn't work, so let's see if we can figure out another angle of approach.
I mean, it looks like fish123 again. A bit upset now. They're like, okay, you've had your fun. We're just gonna toy back with you now.
All right. So now, if you're on the side of Prodigy, you've had a couple of things definitely not go your way, especially whenever you're looking towards very quick early losses. I think that tends to be one of the big things that whenever we talk about like morale inside of how teams play, whenever you just don't even get a chance to really execute your play because you just get caught off on your approach, it really sets the flavor of, okay, what do we do different this time around? And you have to be very careful as to not get too discouraged. Was it just a positioning play? Were you too loud? Was it a lack of abilities being thrown out? And still try to find some way, especially whenever you're playing back around mid. That seems to be the key factor to work around.
It is indeed. Here we've got a slow start to this round. Again, maybe this one could be the defining factor of another couple of rounds after this. Is arguably going to be a freebie after this in terms of economy. Flashpoint actually going to come through. Jerome going to be completely blind over towards Pizza there, but no Pete coming through. Actually, it looks like they might push towards the defensive spawn here. You see the spy cam holding the door on market, but you can see on the X-ray what is imminent. You can see now Recon Bolt actually going to get set onto site. Link's going to slow down Slow Orb. That could hold this down. Actually, Flashpoint invested, but Eccles going to find one. The trade is good. That will shut that down initially, so they're going to get themselves over towards Boathouse, but what can they do from backside here? Again, fault line comes through. One pushes down onto site, and actually the peak is a little bit late. Cryptic finds one. He's actually going to fall on site, but the trades are good for fish123. There you go. 3 in favor for them. That will shut that down. Fantastic hold there. Again, the players back in Boathouse just biding as much time as possible for the teammates' rotation. At that point, they just get pinched on site.
There's so much to be said about being able to stall out an approach and really like force enough time for your teammates to be able to converge and provide that level of support. And that's what we're seeing fish123 execute very well repeatedly. A lot of pressure has now switched back over onto the side of Prodigy. They're going to have to figure out some way to make this work as the economy is starting to slip out of their favor. Really coming in here now with not a lot of work with, but they're going to try to lean this one a little bit more aggressive. You can see Jet just coming in very fast off of it, but it's going to be quick returns going back onto it.
Yeah, upgrading the Stinger straight to the Vandal on site there. See Lazza showing why Jet can be the aggressor in most situations. Okay, great use of the SMG. Spike will actually go down. Cryptix has already found himself in the corner of defensive spawn. Eccles here with the operator trying to find an entry. There is one lurking down next to Wood. And actually, Hunter Fury going to get invested. It's going to find one through Market. Oh, that might be the go signal. Yeah, it's going to be... Well, I say the go signal. It's going to be the signal for them to come back and save it. Actually, Scream going to come out. Jerome going to be outside Market with a Stinger. And he's going to get himself an upgrade as well onto the Vandal. Good round overall. Really, really nice entry there from Luzzard. Again, there's not an awful lot you could do about a Jet that will just come and get up close and personal like that.
Yeah, I mean, good awareness as well, just jumping in very quickly, having an idea on where position is going to be coming through. And that kind of leads to a certain amount of predictability coming into play. Whenever you make similar approaches, or similar defenses on a very regular basis, it just starts to get to a point where the other side can start to read how you're going to move through and allow those very quick opening plays to be executed.
Now, obviously, Save coming through means they'll keep a couple of weapons through to this round. I mean, a much more equal affair this time around. And I honestly thought, you know, the way this map usually plays out, the way the fish123 approached Haven, this one was going to be just as much of a stomping, but Prodigy showing that they can hang on the scent. See what they can do towards the last few rounds.
Well, Dusk was talking about it beforehand. We don't see this map a lot, so it's a good chance to kind of showcase potential of, hey, we're doing more research, we're finding new angles, new different types of approaches. Eccles is going to get spotted out there, so I'm going to go ahead and throw down a little bit of utility, but it's not going to matter. Not going to get picked up in time. Joel looks like he's making a little bit of a playback over towards us. Got the cage down to work with. On the other side of this, you can see the other side for trying to set up. Trying to figure out where he's wanting to set up his potential utility to get a little bit of workout as the cage is going to be popped up right in front of him. This point, trying to figure out how the approach is going to come through. He's got the vision to work with, but how's the rest of the team going to handle it?
Yeah, unfortunate. The shrouded step not working out for Eccles. They couldn't get himself out of alley. At that point, it's just a matter of time before he's flushed out, but rotation coming over towards A. And you can see neural theft did get popped, so the information did go over, and you can see Prodigy haven't chose to act immediately on it, but now here you go. Luzza with that lurk outside A, and he's going to pull back, so It's going to leave one lurker over there, and a lot of mid presence shown here by Prodigy. So you got to think they're going to try and work through market here if they can.
Well, they have an opportunity back behind them to try to go for a little bit of a bait and switch. Soulcast just trying to get a little bit more time bought out. This is going to be slow getting thrown down on the side of the stage, stepping up, and no, it's going to be Soulcast managing to hold the defense onto this one.
Oh, that's you're going to get the double peek off the neural theft there as well, and that is, again, just absolutely stopped in their tracks. The rotation came out, there was one lurk outside A main, and it didn't end up being a factor regardless, but a really, really strong hold through tree from fish123. That was an unintentional rhyme.
All right, we got to go full on hypoc rap from this point forward.
No.
Moving into it. Yeah.
No, it happened the other day. It's never going to happen again.
All right, well, you got to be feeling pretty good as Brit yourself, as fish123, believe a mostly British roster, if I remember correctly. So coming in through here, looks like we're going to see
all but Scream now. All but Scream.
What does Prodigy have left in the tank to work with? Is while it's still pretty close, the favor is starting to make its way back over towards fish123. Sage buying a little bit more time based off of approach throwing out a very early wall, trying to deny any movement coming through there on the other side of it. And see, trying to get a little bit of Sova ultimate off, so maybe they connect and get a couple of kills based off of it.
The Hunter's Fury only getting a tag in there, but a couple of players are low. Obviously, no Sage on the side of Prodigy, so that could be a factor leading through because there's not going to be any heals. Now you can see Chihuahua trying to find an entry through tree. Eccles might have actually timed this perfectly here, Matt. You can see the paranoia is going to go through. He might actually peek this. He is going to peek this. Oh, my word. Absolutely perfect from Eccles. Not sure if he got the audio cue there, but Lazar is holding with the operator. He's going to find a second as well. Eccles just on point right now.
Eccles coming up whenever it matters. Look like we're going to start to see this shift into a dangerous territory as it's going to be very close to fish123 taking the victory off of it. For reposition, you can see a lot of action happening back around that midpoint, trying to go for a little bit of a reposition based off of it. How do we see the approach coming out of Scream? Looks like he has an idea on what's happening. Tries to go for the peek around onto this. Going to go ahead and throw down the utility off of it. Peeks around the side. Quick pickup, and there we go. It's going to be fish123 taking yet another round, and we are in the danger territory for Prodigy.
We are indeed, and I'm not sure how the economy is going to look coming into this one, but I mean, they're going to force, like, we know that, but whether or not they're going to be able to mount something here or they're going to go for, obviously, a force buy with worse equipment and try and aggress something, which I always think is the best plan, obviously, coming in to the fight, well, potentially match point. So, you can see a heavy stack over towards B here. Fault line probably going to get sent through B main. Paranoia actually sent through, but the barrier is there. Actually, Lazar found her way through again. Link's going to shut that one down. And let's see, again, just this push completely called off based on that first one. Jerome already rotating with the spike over towards, he's got two players over towards A main here. So Cryptic's going to pop his, actually the cyber cage is fantastic one way there. Wow, we're going to fall just outside to the left of it. And now two players stuck over in alley. This is problematic. There you go. Yep. Going to find the second one. Scream. This is a fantastic hold again from fish123.
We got Prodigy on the back foot. Not a lot of members up and alive. Trying to make a play, make it one less. Now it is all on to Jerome running that Omen right now. Not a lot to work with. You can see he's got the armor, he's got the health. But where the hell do you go at this point, as it feels like there is an enemy around every single corner and there is no easy approach. You know you're outgunned. You know you're going to have to try to make some type of hero play off of it. But hoping maybe somebody just lost attention off the side. Spots out one, goes for the play, not going to connect. And that's going to go back over to fish123, who walks away with yet another round.